Hey everybody, Raven here, and today we're going to be talking about the silver market. Ladies and gentlemen, what happened last week and early this week is really shocking. Silver didn't just dip, it actually got obliterated. And let me show you, the low had gotten down to 65. Right now, this morning, we're hovering just about 69. It's made a small bit of a gain, but what's insane is that, you're talking a $10 drop in just 5 days. And that is something that a lot of people really have a hard time dealing with. But the crazy thing is that people are driving from far distances just to find a shop to try to sell their silver and precious metals because the refineries still aren't taking it. It's locking up money for a lot of coin shops and bullion dealers. And so, it's one of those things that you look at this uh, drop and you wonder, is this going to cause people to go out there and sell their silver and in fear of losing more money? Um, you know, who knows? But right now, most people that are selling it aren't doing it because they think it's a bad investment. A lot of them are literally having to do real life purchases, and it's out of necessity for bills and whatnot. The current economy is kind of rough out there, as you guys know, with what's going on globally. But on the flip side of that, stackers are coming out of the woodwork because they think this is a really good opportunity to buy on a heavy dip. If you bought 110 when it was at its peak, right now $70 looks like a really good value for you. But you know what? Here's the thing that's going on that makes it hard for everybody is there's literally a cash crunch at local coin shops. Here's a reality check. Your local coin shop, LCS, is not a bank. When prices move this fast, shops face massive liquidity risks. And think about it. They've spent 20 years selling you silver. And if everybody in the local neighborhood or area or city comes trying to sell it all back at the same time, the shops run out of the liquid cash. You've seen it in our prior videos for Coin Shop Talk. It's really been rough. There's times where we have a good amount of money and no silver, no money and a lot of silver. Some shops are even halting buying because they took on massive um, amounts of silver in the last couple weeks, and their capital is just tied up. That's why people are literally driving hours to try to find a place that can still buy their silver, and they're willing to basically take a check over cash even because they really want to still get money while they can for silver. Um, you know, the crazy thing is that not all silver right now is the same. Price is down on generic silver, but the premium on silver eagles has just been absolutely ridiculous. And that's because a lot of people are worried about shortages and whatnot on silver eagles. So we've been seeing it's harder for us to even get silver eagles into the shop. It's one of the consistently few items that are selling um, really high. Now, if you want the most bang for your buck, 90% silver is where it is right now because a lot of times you can get it at spot or below spot. You know, um, Here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, silver fatigue is actually real. And I've seen that happening with quite a few people. There's people that are just absolutely frustrated with what's going on with the market, the ups and downs, the $10 swings, and it's frustrating to watch your portfolio drop 10-15% in just a week. And here's the thing, stacking silver is not a get rich quick scheme. These recent markets are something that have not been seen ever, and so you see a lot of adjusting and things going on. If history repeats itself, the markets breathe. They go up, they go down. Are you a buyer at $70? Or are you waiting for the next FOMO spike that might hit 100 to 120. We just don't know what's going to happen. That's the crazy thing that's going on right now. Let me know in the comments down below if you are buying during the dip or you tapped out. Don't forget to check out other people like my brother Silver Seeker and see what they say about, silver stacking and the current markets, because it's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, that you really, really have to stay informed. I've talked about this many, many times over the last 8 years plus. There's some channels that'll tell you, well, Raven's, mostly numismatic. No, you go back. I've been talking about silver since day one. I don't talk about it every day exclusively because I believe very heavily that numismatic coins are something that are going to consistently grow in value over time because the rarity, the demand. Silver, generic silver, a lot of these things, 90% silver, they have a certain ceiling and a certain floor that they're going to stay at, time and time again. I myself think that there's a good chance that because of these huge swings that we're seeing in the markets, that you might actually see silver go down quite a bit. People don't have the disposable income that they had in recent years because of the economy that's going on right now. During the COVID thing that happened, people got government funding that wasn't there before. So there was a lot of people that became silver stackers and even numismatic people that never were before because all of a sudden they had, 3,000-4,000 extra dollars during a time and they saw, hey, look, silver is only 20 something dollars an ounce. Man, I could get quite a bit and hold on to it and see what happens. Now, that person that was at $20 sold at 110, they made 5 times their investment, ladies and gentlemen. That's something you just don't see very often in the markets. The rule of thumb is normally every 7.5 years in the stock market, if you're doing well with about an 8% return on your investment, you'll double your money. This recent phenomenon in the silver markets and precious metals has seen people triple, quadruple their money in just a year's time. So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. Where's the market going to go? And, it's really volatile. So again, leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think and what's going on in your local area. If you want to correspond, it's ravenhawkcoins@gmail.com. Our P.O. Box is 721296, Norman, Oklahoma 73070. Like always, please make sure to take care of one another, and we'll see you real soon. Ravenhawk Coins, have a great day.